All right, we are live here on Facebook. Thank y'all for joining me as always. We're here with another Mortgage Minutes episode. And as you can see by the little up and down in the seatbelt, I am mobile today, but I want to stay consistent. I believe in consistency. All right, today is July the 16th, 2026. Summer is it's blowing by, but hey, the last few days in San Antonio, it's been raining and storming, tornadoes, floods, all of the things. So I definitely want to send out some prayers for all of those who have been impacted by the weather occurrences that we've had in the last couple of days. So on today, y'all, I wanted to talk to you all about a really cool new program we have. It's a ZeroDown program where your clients can get into a home with zero down. So that's one of the biggest barriers in home ownership. I think you all would agree with me. But I'm going to start as always with our verse of the day. And this is the NIV version. And it's from Ephesians 6:13. It says, "Therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand." I was looking at that verse and I was reading it in the different translations. So if you have a moment, go back and read the one in the Message. I think it's the Message translation. Pretty cool. But in here it says, when the day of evil comes. So it's not if, it's when the day of evil comes. So the Hunt Team's new ZeroDown program is an opportunity for your clients to purchase a home with a lower out-of-pocket expense, basically zero down. So what we've done is we partnered a traditional FHA loan with a down payment assistance second lien. What's a little bit different about this program is that we hold it in-house at Cross Country. And so we don't have to have additional guidelines placed on it. We can go strictly by the traditional FHA guidelines. We don't have to have any caps on the DTI. It goes by the cap for FHA financing. There's also not a credit score requirement. It also goes by what is required for FHA. So if you have local down payment assistance programs that cap you, let's say your DTI cap is 45%, or maybe there's a credit score cap of 640 or credit score minimum of 640. This program actually goes strictly by the FHA guidelines. So it gives your client an opportunity to get into a home with less money out of pocket. So just as a reminder, traditional FHA financing requires a 3.5 down payment. There are some programs, if they're buying like a HUD foreclosure or the HUD $100 down program, but those are specific areas and for a specific group of buyers. But for most buyers, if they're using an FHA loan, their down payment is 3.5%. So if one of the biggest barriers keeping people from achieving home ownership is down payment, we have a ton of opportunities for those families. We can serve them and they don't have to put off home ownership. So I wanted to kind of flip it around a little bit and talk about other means of down payment, just in case your client is not interested in a repayable program or a forgivable program. Other means of down payment, of course, are your clients' resources they have on hand. So if they have money in a savings, a checking, a 401k program, those are good means of a down payment. If your client has a family member or a significant other that can assist them with the gift, that's a great means of down payment as well. I want to back up to the 401k though. So if your client has a 401k, and sometimes if you're a realtor, you'll ask your client, do you have a 401k account, which is a retirement account? You want to be careful that your client has already called to find out if that money is withdrawable, or can they use it to buy a home, because in most cases they can, but there are also cases where they cannot use that money to buy a home or use it prior to their retirement. Also, there are instances where your client may have a loan on their 401k already. Some 401k plans do not allow you to have two loans. Some of them do. So some of them may require that client to pay off the current loan that they have before they can open up a new loan. So these are some of the things that we ask that borrower, and some of the things that we try to catch before we even issue a pre-approval letter. But if you're one of those detail-oriented realtors that has a questionnaire for your client when you intake them, or when y'all decide to work together, those are some of the additional questions that I would add, just to find out more details about their 401k if they've already made the call to determine if they can use it for home buying expenses. So again, let's just do a quick recap. For an FHA loan, your traditional down payment is 3.5%. And that's if you have a 580 credit score or above, right? If you have less than a 580 credit score, that doesn't mean no. It just means that you're going to have a higher down payment. So being creative, getting into a home is important, because not everything is cookie cutter, and not everyone has had a seamless life experience, right? Some of us have had things that have happened to us in the past, and sometimes we will discount ourselves and not give ourselves an opportunity. But if you are out there and you desire to own a home, on the Hunt team, we believe that home ownership is available to everyone. Of course, there are guidelines we have to follow. We have to stay within the rules and restrictions of programs, but it doesn't mean we can't work toward overcoming them to help you to become a homeowner and create wealth for yourself currently, and also for your family in the future. So home ownership, put it on your list. If you don't have it on your goal sheet, add it to your goal sheet. If you are a realtor and you are listening to this call and you have not identified your goals for the last half of this year, I advise you to decide, commit. How many people will I help by the end of this year? If that number is 1, write it down and commit to it. If it's 10, write it down and commit to it. So there are people out there depending on us, like the Lord allowed us to get into this field to do His work. So when we decide to sit down on that, we are sitting down on God. So just remember that entrepreneurship is not all about making money. It's not all about helping the most people. It's about doing God's work. So if we're really here to do that, write down what you're committing to yourself, place that in the Lord's hands, and He will help you to attain that goal. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, and y'all know I only got 10 to give. No, I love y'all. Bye.